International observers delivered scathing criticism on Monday of Ukraine's parliamentary election, saying the vote was heavily tilted in favor of President Viktor Yanukovych's Party of Regions through the abuse of government resources, the dominance of media coverage and the jailing of two prominent opposition leaders. Considering the abuse of power, and the excessive role of money in this election, democratic progress appears to have reversed in Ukraine, said Alberta Habsburg Douglas, the Swedish lawmaker who led an observer mission for the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe's Parliamentary Assembly. With nearly 80 thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Percent of Sunday's ballots counted by Monday evening, the results showed the Party of Regions well ahead of its opponents, with about 33% of the vote. The Fatherland Party of the jailed former Prime Minister, Yulia Tymoshenko, was second in the early results, with about 24%. The results also showed the Communist Party with about 14%, followed by a party called Punch, led by the boxing champion Vitaly Klitschko, with 13% and the ultra-nationalist Freedom Party with 9%. The election was closely watched as a gauge of developing thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Democracy in this former Soviet republic of 45 million, once viewed as on a steady track toward integration with Europe after the Orange Revolution of 2004. Framed in that context, the verdict by international observers was devastating. Andreas Gross, a member of the Swiss parliament who led a delegation to Ukraine from the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, said problems were so deep that even calling the new election would not help. "We have systemic problems," Mr. Gross said. "To make a new election with the same rules, thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Get the same result. The precise balance of power in the Ukrainian parliament will not be known for several weeks because half of the 450 seats will be filled by candidates who did not have to declare a party affiliation ahead of Sunday's vote. They can choose later to align with a party." The relatively strong showing by the right-wing Freedom Party, whose leader, Oleg Tyagnerbok, is known for espousing anti-Semitic and racist views, had not been predicted in opinion polls. In the last parliamentary election 5 years ago, the party won less than thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. 1% of the vote, far short of the threshold to control a faction in parliament. Support for the nationalists seemed in part to reflect a backlash against a law rammed through parliament this year elevating the status of the Russian language, the move viewed by many as undercutting Ukrainian. The Party of Regions has its base of support in the predominantly Russian-speaking south and east of the country. But some voters said their support of the ultra-nationalists was also a protest against the ruling authorities. The Yanukovych government had been thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Bracing for criticism from international observers and went to great lengths to portray the balloting as free and fair, even installing web cameras in more than 30,000 polling stations. The casting of votes itself seemed largely free of shenanigans, with only scattered complaints of malfeasance. Still, international observers said they could not look past the overall tilting of the political field in favor of the Party of Regions, particularly the continued jailing of Ms. Tymoshenko, the country's best-known opposition politician, and Yuri Lutsenko, another opposition leader. In July, the European Court of Human Rights thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Ruled that Mr. Lutsenko's jailing was political repression and an abuse of human rights. Ms. Tymoshenko, who is also appealing to the Court of Human Rights, announced through a lawyer on Monday that she would begin a hunger strike to protest fraud in the parliamentary election. In a written report, the International Election Observer said the Ukrainian vote was characterized by the lack of a level playing field, caused primarily by the abuse of administrative resources, lack of transparency of campaign and party financing, and lack of balanced media coverage. While the observers praised thank you for trying verbose, this recording will go away once the product has been purchased. The conduct of voting at polling stations, saying it was assessed mostly positively, they criticized the tabulation process, saying it lacked transparency.